What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and of course, you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have the whole playlist down there in order for you, if you want to catch up on Frost Strikes. So a couple of changes from last episode. I did go ahead and do some more crafting, so we have a crit bow now. It's 139 DPS. I think my old one was 115, so it's a little bit of a buff. Where the main buff comes in this is it has a 45% critical chance on it and a 15% crit damage bonus, which is pretty spicy. And then I went ahead and made this armor too, which is just a bunch of defenses. I did make a mistake with this. So in the other Dragon Age games, dexterity is what dictates your crit chance, but in this one it's cunning. Cunning I thought was always crit damage, but it's not. Cunning is now crit chance. So we need to switch this out at some point. Whenever I upgrade this to the next tier, I'll probably just make that a cunning armor instead of a dexterity one. But that's all that changed. And I did go back to the hinterlands and take care of the last rifts we had there. It didn't seem important enough to do that on camera, so I just ran back and did it. You do see I have a level up. I haven't spent that yet. I wanted to save that but on camera so you could see the build. I didn't want to mess with that too much. Now, I ended up not being able to sleep last night, so I just got back on. I did a bunch of bear hide farming to make that gear set with the high crit chance, and then left everything else where it was so I could meet up with you guys. Papers we received from Sarah's friends document a lord's sabotage of a rival's marriage, despite the scandalous affair. Very useful in implying our influence. I'll take the random 30 influence drop. I had the big ones, right? Because we had a 20-hour and something mission from Cullen. On the Waking Sea, we found what we were looking for. An ancient vault all but buried in the thick vegetation at the heart of the island. No doubt untouched for over 1,000 years. The effort to open the vault without setting off traps was considerable, and what we found within was interesting. According to an agent named Rion, this was the retreat of one of the last Andraste's disciples, a guardian who fled some manner of attack on the site of the sacred ashes. He expected reinforcement by other disciples who never arrived. Whatever texts the man thought to preserve have mostly crumbled, but we recovered a number of other artifacts from the site. It is a significant find that will undoubtedly prove of great interest to Chantry scholars, even if it will take them years to sort through all the debris. And we got a Belt of Urgency. I'll take a look at that here in a second. Locate the weapon of Thedas Brideaxe. Inquisitor. I have no idea what to say. Scholars have debated whether Thedas' legendary axe was an axe set with crystal, an axe with a magically reinforced crystalline head, or perhaps even just a very polished axe. But apparently, the word translated from the ancient language commonly taken to be axe, in fact merely means hafted weapon. It is possible the translations of the saga have been edited to omit evidence that Thedas Brideaxe may have been using what seems, from all appearances, to be a staff, as would more commonly be used by a mage. I apologize for my confusion in this matter. I will endeavor to be more diligent in my translations in the future. Yours, Sister Dorcas Guerin. Guerin, huh? Like Tegan? And so I guess Thedas, the Grey Avar leader, is actually a mage. Or was, I suppose, at this point. Secure a route through the Frostbacks. Inquisitor, we explored the Fallow Mire after you cleared the place out. I've stumbled on an old road that leads west to the Frostbacks. If it's cleaned up, you could use it to shave weeks off a journey through the mountains. I'd rather be wet than freezing, scout hardened. An unknown road. It would be perfect for our spies. If it remains secret, I can have my people clear the way. We could move troops east to west without risking the mountains. Let's keep this road for our soldiers. They can repair it. Or, merchants would give a great deal for this route. They'd reward us handsomely for the location of the road. Absolutely not. We're going to secure that for the soldiers. Freedom of movement and not having to cart horses and supplies and everything else up through a mountain pass is way more beneficial to the Inquisition than getting some coin from some random merchants. Coin will come. Having the ability to move our soldiers around is very unique. Investigate the strange chalk markings. Excerpts from Rector's reports. Do you know this sign? A triangle, point down, two wavy lines through it, a lookout spotted it in chalk, and a ruined wall close to one of our outposts. A cursory inquiry into the symbol has revealed nothing. Archivists are still looking. Argent thinks she saw the symbol, or something very like it, scrawled in a ledger that belonged to the Comtesse de Bayard. A sweep was done, as you ordered. Almost every outpost of ours has been marked in this manner. Many believe we are being watched. To what end, we do not know. What about a decoy outpost, set up near a trade route and watched carefully? If someone decides to take out their piece of chalk, we'll have them. I could follow up on Argent's lead. Comtesse de Bayard is reclusive and has remained steadfastly neutral in all matters, but I'm certain I can find some way to gain her cooperation. Let's let Liliana have her way with this, I think.
Let's see what...
I'd rather catch the person red-handed, because then we have the leverage, right? Whatever they're up to. We take them in the act, then they have no choice but to admit what they did, and then we can use that as leverage. Alright, so... I still have no idea what I want to do between the Mages and Templars, so instead, let's go to the Storm Coast and take a look at the Bullish Chargers, shall we? Ferelden has not seen significant Grey Warden activity since Darkspawn attacked the city of Amaranthine 10 years ago. It's not unusual for their order to fade from public notice when there's no blight. However, recent reports claim that a group was traveling along the northern coastline. Wardens tend to follow their own agenda, but the breach has no doubt caught their attention. If they know something, then the Inquisition should find out. You know the way I see that? I see Warden, I follow. Sister Liliana, Lieutenant Hardin led a small complement of soldiers to the Storm Coast region to investigate reports of Grey Warden activity. She sent word that her party had established a camp near the shore, but we have received nothing further. At this time, the status of Harding and her mission remains unknown. Rector. We will absolutely venture forth. So, rumors of Grey Wardens here makes it sound to me like it would be a good idea to take Blackwall. We'll go with this squad.
Your worship, for what it's worth, welcome to the Storm Coast. I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
Why do we always meet in the rain, Hardin?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, your worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck, and enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
Your hair is surprisingly dry, given the torrential downpour we're both currently standing in. Alright, first things first, new place. We need our Storm Coast requisition.
This might interest you, sir.
See?
What is it?
You may want to look into this.
Yeah, that cult they were just talking about is the Blades of Hessarian. And we read a little codex about them. Dwarven puzzle box we can do now. We can also do the surveys for all this stuff. Let's just get this one done. And then... You know, I already did craft my gear that I wanted, so I'm just going to do that too. Because I already did my big chunk of crafting for the next foreseeable future of this game, so I'm not too worried about losing materials.
Dispatch for you.
What is it?
Could prove useful, sir.
But yeah, we read about the cult of the Blades of Hessarian not that long ago in a codex, and now we get to meet them. And they've taken some of our people hostage. Just gotta give our Inquisition troops like crisis training or something, because that's the second time. First by Avon, now by a random cult here. Let's take a gander at what we're dealing with. So that's where the captain of the charges is. That's actually really close. And then there's a rendezvous point up here. Let's go check out the charges first. We're right here. I'm like they're having fun with somebody. Putting on a show for us. Catch me. Yeah, enhanced crit rate does this. Blackwall is taunting like a G-runner. I was standing next to them, throwing leaping shots and generated no presence.
The warrior!
Beautiful timing. He almost proved me wrong.
Chargers! Stand down! Krim! How'd we do?
5 or 6 wounded, Chief. No dead.
That's what I like to hear. Let the throat cutters finish up, then break out the casks. So, you're with the Inquisition, huh? Glad you could make it. Come on, have a seat. Drinks are coming.
Yeah, they definitely make Canary big.
Iron Bull, I presume. Yeah, the horns usually give it away. I assume you remember Cremisius Aclassi, my lieutenant.
Good to see you again.
A cool
Throat
name.
cutters are done, Chief.
Already? Have him check again. I don't want any of those Tevinter bastards getting away. No offense, Krem.
None taken. At least a bastard knows who his mother was. Puts him one up on you Canary, right?
So, you've seen us fight. We're expensive, but we're worth it.
That's right. Canary don't
I'm
have
sure the
their
Inquisition can afford us.
mothers raise them. They get put into the what is it called? It's not the Ben Hasrath, they're the re-educators. They have a faction of Canary women that raise Canary. You don't stay with your mothers, and you don't get a name either, you get a number.
How much is this going to cost me, exactly? Wouldn't cost you anything personally. Unless you want to buy drinks later. Your ambassador, what's her name? Josephine. We'd go through her and get the payments set up. Gold will take care of itself. Don't worry about that. All that matters is we're worth it.
Did enough research to show, or to know, Josephine's name.
The Chargers seem like an excellent company.
They are, but you're not just getting the boys. You're getting me. You need a frontline bodyguard. I'm your man. Whatever it is. Demons, dragons, the bigger the better. And there's one other thing. Might be useful. Might piss you off. Ever hear of the Ben Hasra?
I just talked about them, in fact.
They're a Canary organization, right? The equivalent of their guards and City Watch.
I'd go closer to spies.
It's more like the CIA.
That's them. Or, well, us. The Ben Hasrath are concerned about the breach. Magic out of control like that could cause trouble everywhere. I've been ordered to join the Inquisition, get close to the people in charge, and send reports on what's happening. But I also get reports from Ben Hasrath agents all over Orlais. You sign me on, I'll share them with your people.
I'm very forthcoming about that.
You're a Canary spy, and you just told me?
Whatever happened at that conclave thing is bad. Someone needs to get that breach closed.
And we have our own spy
So whatever
anyway.
I am, I'm on your side.
I'm sure Liliana would know all about you.
What you are.
From something called the Inquisition. I'd have been tipped sooner or later. Better you hear it right up front from me.
Yeah, Liliana's nothing but good at her job, so...
What would you send home in these reports of yours?
Enough to keep my superiors happy. Nothing that'll compromise your operations. The Canary want to know if they need to launch an invasion to stop the whole damn world from falling apart. You let me send word of what you're doing, it'll put some minds at ease. That's good for everyone.
What's in these Ben Hasrath reports you're offering to share?
Enemy movements, suspicious activity, intriguing gossip. It's a bit of everything. Alone they're not much, but if your spy master is worth a damn, she'll put him to good use.
She.
I did a little research. Plus, I've always had a weakness for redheads.
You're not the only one.
All right, you're in.
Excellent. Krem, tell them
Weakness
to
for
finish
redheads
breaking
is
on the
common
road.
around here, I
The
think.
Chargers just got hired.
What about the casks, Chief? We just open them up with axes.
Find some way to seal them. You're Tervinter, right? Try Bloodman. We'll meet you back at Haven.
We're not going to pull Iron Bull out right now. We're going to stick with the original crew that we got going. But it never hurt to have a Canary, right? With the size of the dude, he's kind of like another portable battering ram, just like Shale. It's an interesting thing, having abandoned mercenaries. I think the mercenaries, I would be a little less open to entertaining if this were me. But I would definitely be open to entertaining having a Canary Ben Hassaroth on board. And if he's spying on us anyway, why not keep it close, right? He seems alright. It's hard to trust mercenaries though, I think. Loyalty pretty much just comes to their bottom line, right? It's not like it's something that's trustworthy. Pulling us back from clearing that supply line. What do we have in here? Given that the Grey Wardens were here, there's probably a Darkspawn presence on the Storm Coast, and, considering all these cobwebs, I'm sure we're about to fight spiders in here. Or Deepstalkers. Not what I expected. I wonder what the Deepstalker hide does beneficial-wise for crafting. Find out. It does dexterity and chance to sunder. Okay, so we won't be using much of that, but I'll take it. It's free and it's mine and all that. Ah, they did bring one spider. Some lights on here, I can't see any of them. Is this the Spooder or is it the Deepstalker? Deepstalker. Yeah, what was it Solus was saying about the giant spiders being willing to live and let live? It doesn't look like it to me. It's definitely dwarven, this place. Definitely dwarven made. Which I guess means there's going to be a bunch of dwarven ruins around the place. Dwarven ruins means connection to deep roads, which means darkspawn, so that's probably why the wardens were here. Those Blades of Hessarian, I presume. That up a little. Shot of you. Buckle, you want to defend your party? Thank you. Waiting for my opening there for him to turn. Rare stones. I think we have to go to the rendezvous point, and then we get the crafting option for an amulet, which will let us negotiate with the Blades of Hessarian. I think. If I remember correctly. Or we might have to go back to Haven to do it. I'm trying to take note if I can tell that I have such a higher crit chance now, because we gotta be in the, at least in the 50s. With the cunning score from our level ups, plus the 45% from the bow. It must be approaching 50 or 60 at this point. But theoretically, every other hit should be a critical. And we need our specialization too, because that's when we can get Artificer. And then that's when we can get the perk that gives us cooldowns every single time.
Any concrete knowledge of technique.
We get a crit, it'll lower our cooldowns. And I believe that works for when our companions crit too, so if they're critting, it also benefits us.
I do prefer to have boundaries between myself and the demons, my dear.
Of course. You endure the harrowing, where your circle teaches you that all demons attempt to possess you.
Not at all. Many of them simply want to kill you. I suppose you would claim otherwise.
Why should I? You would not believe me. You have learned your lessons all too well.
Well, Solus, if you would pay attention to your surroundings, you would notice that demons, in fact, do try to kill and possess you. I've never met a friendly one. And he knows too well the difference between a spirit and a demon, so he knows what she's talking about. He's just being pedantic because he'd like to fight. Here's our rendezvous. Pull that aggro, get into a good position. Our aggro here again. Do a good spot. Drop him. $19, $369. The flashing one is the critical. Why do you have to bring Mabaris? Why you gotta make me kill the doggos? Rolled in royalty, Mabaris. Well, somebody can tell Liliana that they didn't come here for tea. Specialist crest. This is our scouts.
These must be the missing soldiers.
We should see that their families are notified.
Even bother moving the bodies, it doesn't look like. Looks like they just executed them.
It looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach.
Bandit notes. There is that crafting. But Mercy's Christ. These notes were found near murdered Inquisition soldiers. The paper is not crumpled or torn, as though it were left behind instead of dropped. It's not our place to disagree. They're attempting to set themselves up along the shore, and we have orders. We are the sword, not the hand that wields it. You taught me that. If they're worthy, let them come with the Mercy's crest. The Blades of Hessarian will listen. You'll only get yourself cast out, or worse.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hessarian. It seems there's a way to challenge their leader.
Naming themselves after the sword that killed Andraste. Ambitious.
They have traditions. These men were just following a code. If the Inquisition can win their loyalty, we could steer them on a better path.
Very true. I think that's exactly what we're going to try to do, Blackwall. Ordinarily, I wouldn't necessarily buy into the whole, well, we're just following orders, but I mean, if they're willing to join in and fight for a good cause, right? It'd be a waste not to. I think this is the Blades of Hessarian, so let's go back here. We'll craft that crest, then we'll go challenge the leader. I think we already have the ability to craft it. We do indeed. Mercy's Crest. These special amulets are respected by the Blades of Hessarian, and fashioning them will allow our agents to negotiate with the cultists, and perhaps gain some converts to our cause. And another geological survey that we can just crank out again. Yeah, I always like to farm up the easy ones.
What is it?
This may be worthwhile.
Spider Ica for the next one. So before we forget, let's what does this do? Attack speed 50 below. What is the difference? Oh, it's moderate instead of small. Yeah, go ahead. Mode of aggression, second wind. Where's the Crest of Mercy? There we go. These special amulets are respected. But now we do lose the 5% cooldown, but that's only temporary. Black Wall. Every time he attacks now, he's going to generate threat. I'll probably switch that out from him to Cassandra when we use her, and I'll just keep switching that back and forth, likely. I'm going to keep off my mount, because there's also a mage here that we have to find out in the wilds. And when you find him, he drops the key to his cabin for a little side quest. So I'm going to just keep an eye out for him. I think we can drop literally right on their heads from this hillside that we're on. Yeah, that's their encampment. We are literally right on their heads. Alright, just in case something goes wrong with the amulet and it decides not to proc for one reason or another, I'll go ahead and save the game real quick. Just in case. Are you Serpent Stone? Yes, you are. Kinda got a general idea of the shapes of those minerals to know when I'm missing the one that I want. I think Serpent Stone is still tier 1, but it's the different properties of the stone that makes them interesting. And this boss fight shouldn't be too bad. Especially not now with my crit bow. Too cool.
Someone's come with a challenge.
The others failed.
I'm different.
So you would challenge the Blades of Hessarian?
You killed soldiers of the Inquisition. We cannot let this stand.
You want justice? Claim it.
Sounds good. Don't tell me twice. Those there in case the doggo decides that he wants to fight. We needed to barrel stuff him like that, but I'll take it. This is my long shot. Yeah, I'm gonna put some more trials on too after this episode, I think. A little too easy for me, that.
It's done. As long as everyone here respects the outcome.
Find out.
Your worship, the Blades of Hessarian are at your service. If you want eyes on the place, here we are.
Just like that.
I've not heard of the Blades of Hessarian.
Our work is often misunderstood, but we serve Andraste and whoever proves worthy of wielding us.
Serve Andraste while being named after the blade that killed her.
You and your blades are loyal to the Inquisition?
We're loyal to you. I suppose that's the same thing, your worship.
So there's no ill will over what happened with your former boss?
The man was a bastard. You're not the first to stand up to him. You're just the first to win, and we're happy with that. Besides, I would rather swear my life to the Herald of Andraste.
So I guess this is just a little side cult too, whereas they just follow orders, like the strongest leads, and he was the strongest, so he led, but they didn't really like him. They just... It is what it is, right? It's the leader.
Do you have anything to report?
Nothing of note, your worship.
Kind of like a pirate ship, I guess, in a way.
Safe travels, your worship.
I don't know if they count as an agent for the Inquisition, or if they just... give you war tables. Okay, there you go. That answers my question. They do count as an agent.
At your service, your worship.
Well, I'll take it. I imagine they go to forces. Out in Hightown, they read Varric's books. The Conversion of Hessarian. Beloved Andraste, sit well at the Maker's side and know my sorrow, for my heart was weak until it served your greater glory. As she was my enemy, I heeded the word of the betrayer, and so sentenced her to die. As she was bound upon the pyre, so that all might bear witness. But as the prophet burned, silence fell. For though flame licked mortal flesh, she would not cry. The hearts of the people filled with shame, all were silent with her. I thought it defiance, and though I marveled at her strength, my heart was yet unmoved. It was then the prophet raised her eyes, her visage wreathed with sacred flame. It was then I saw her sorrow and her acceptance. I felt the flame eat mine own flesh. I felt its slow death upon me, and knew her suffering. Through flame I walked, and drove the sword into her heart, and so the prophet was released. The Maker whispered in my ear, and knew I had become the instrument of his will. An interpretation of the Conversion of Hessarian, written in 734 Storm. Claims that it draws from a text written by Hessarian himself remain unconfirmed. So that's the guy that assassinated Andraste when Mafarath betrayed her because he got jealous of his armies and everybody respecting and revering her when he was the one winning the wars. And that guy executed her for Tevinter, but ended up converting ultimately because the act in itself was what changed his heart. A bitter note. I do not care what the Inquisition claims. They lie to serve their own purpose. Do not listen to their corruption. These hills belong to the Blades of Hessarian, and have I not been good to you? You follow my will, as you would the will of Andraste, though you have sworn. Okay, yeah, so they're just a cult, essentially, and he took power by one way or another, maybe by way of challenge, since that's how it works. But they were just stuck with him. None of them were strong enough to off him. So they kind of just had to hold that until somebody came along that was good enough to do something about it. And we're that guy. Initiation for the Blades of Hessarian. The oath sworn by new converts to the leader of the Blades of Hessarian. You were lost, as were we all. Grant me purpose. You were unhearing, as were we all. Let me obey. You are the sword, as are we all. Wield me in her name. They will definitely do better with us than without us. I mean, we killed them, right? So I guess now we're the leader of this place. Quite the promotion. And if anybody's going to be loyal to the Herald of Andraste, I think it's the Cult of Andraste, so... Do I even have... No points to spend there. Honestly, I think at this point we might just start going down here. Because I need to get the pincushion and then I'm completely done with this tree. So after we get this perk, I'm basically not going to spend anything until we get our specialization. Essentially. What do we have for static cage? Enemies can now leave static cage, but take constant damage while outside its boundaries. Static cage is now powerful enough to hurt or even kill enemies who leave its boundaries. Whenever an enemy in the cage takes damage, a lightning bolt strikes them, dealing bonus electricity. I think we'll take that. And then I believe Solus had one too, right? So, do we have anything that I would care to give you in your frost tree? You draw on cold magic near you to protect you from attacks. Standing near a frozen enemy or a persistent cold spell reduces all damage you take. I guess that could work out with these ice mines, right? If he pops them in front of him and he's standing next to it, he'll get damage reduction, but... What else can we do for you? Because you are using Dispel. Dispel now weakens the magical attacks of affected enemies. Dispelling magic and status effects increases your own spell's damage and barrier generation for a brief duration. Let's do this, because some major enemies are kind of chunky. I think that'll be good to offset some of that DPS that they can crank out. Right. So, to wrap this up, this episode, I think what we're going to do is we'll go back to Haven, and we will talk to Iron Bull. We'll get to know him a little before we wrap up.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Canary learned the same thing when we trained to fight Templars Mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
It makes sense. If you hold it straight or angle it towards you, it'll just splash up into your face, right? Angle it down, it'll go on the floor.
I'm impressed by what Cullen has accomplished with the troops.
Damn right.
I'm impressed with
It takes time to build a group
Bull's
into a team.
powers
He's
of
got their
observation.
loyalty. Now he just needs them to make a decent shield wall, and they'll be good to go. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
I think out of all these people, Cassandra is probably the leader that we have right now, right?
Cassandra's been the driving force of this Inquisition. She's the leader in all but name.
Cassandra's a seeker. From what I gather, that's a bit like a Ben Hasrath. She's a good hunter and a great fighter, but she doesn't see the big picture. Too busy searching for answers. My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions and live with the consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat. You think? It could happen. It won't, but it could.
I wonder if he has an injury. See this little brace on his leg? Break his ankle at some point.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about your work with the Ben Hasrath.
Ben Hasrath is actually a general term. You've got the secret police who investigate problems inside our territory. You've got the re-educators who take people with problems and fix their minds. Or make them disappear. And then you've got the spies.
How do the re-educators work?
I only know the basics. Wasn't my area. That said, keep a man awake long enough. Ask the right questions, give the right potions, and you can get him to say anything. You don't need blood magic or demons to change someone's mind. We're a lot more fragile than we'd like to believe.
Like I said, like the CIA of the Qunari.
You can alter someone's beliefs that easily?
One of my friends was a re-educator. He said that every memory is like the page of a book. When you examine a memory, you're turning to that page, and when you're there, the page is laid bare. Write a few notes in the margins of the page, erase a word here and there, and your whole outlook changes. I always felt a little weird reading after that conversation.
That conversation is disturbingly accurate, right? If you look at the way things are interpreted. And like he said, add some notes in the margin, rephrase something here and there, and your entire interpretation of the page would change, and therefore that aspect of your personality would be altered, whether by a little or a lot.
None of those sound exactly like you.
Yeah, I was a special case. They sent me to Saharan because they needed someone who could fight and hunt down problems. That whole island was a sack of cats. Incursions from Tevinter, Tal Vashath, and native rebels fighting both sides. And in the middle, me, trying to wrangle the rebels and restore order.
I can't imagine that was easy.
Nope. I hunted down a lot of rebels. Lost a lot of friends to the Vince, or the Fog Warriors, or the Tal Vashath. One day I woke up and couldn't think of a damned reason to keep doing my job. Turned myself into the re-educators.
Not many people would have the courage to do that.
I thought about letting some rebel kill me, but I couldn't give any of those bastards the satisfaction. The Ben Hasrath ordered me to go to Orlais, ostensibly as a Tal Vashath, and work undercover. That's how I ended up here.
Interesting. So there's a lot of brainwashing in Qunari society. It's a heavily religious culture, but it's not religion. It's more like the very essence of your being. It's the reason for everything. Every breath you take has a cause behind it, and that's all for the Qun and the Qunari. They're such an interesting faction.
Thanks for the information, Bull.
No problem, boss. Anyway, nice talking with you.
Hey, we could talk a little more to I Am Bull another time, I think, because we do have some new war table missions that I'd like to set going before we hop into the next episode. We'll talk to Krem too. We'll talk to his second. Not sure if I got any special orders. This little exclamation point is always here when you come back, but we'll check. I did not have anything. We'll start getting those more when I put the other trials on, which I'm definitely going to do. After that,
Good day.
Hessarian boss fight right there. That's a pretty good sign that I've gotten a little too chunko, so I'm going to crank the difficulty up with trials. We are already on max everything else, but I can put some trials on and make it a little more spicy.
I don't understand.
It does mean we'll run into unkillable barriers, but nothing a double mage party can't solve, right? We might have some new...
Tell Segret I've received
No, we
permission to sell him a few things.
Let's take a look at our war council. Put the Blades of Hessarian to use, and we'll see how Cullen got on with that supply line through the Fallow Mire. Like a little general mini game on the side. It's pretty fun. Inquisitor, we have begun sending soldiers along the road from the Fallow Mire. I would like to pass on their considerable gratitude for being spared treks across the Frostbacks. Our healers seem happier as well. Commander Cullen. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole Hannibal thing, right? Going through the mountains costs you a bunch of your forces. An offer from the Blades of Hessarian. Your worship. The Blades of Hessarian keep supplies along the shore. Consider them at your disposal. Our former leader increased our caches significantly, although some consider his methods dishonorable. Ivor of the Blades. We could use the resources. Our soldiers can deliver them.
Alright.
Everybody else is still busy, so he's the only one. Right. That's where we're going to wrap this one on up. And then next episode, I will be back in the Storm Coast to finish that area off. So, thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment on your way out, and I will see you next time with more Dragon Age Inquisition. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.